Hello there, very good evening. This is the weekend edition of Primetime News on TV1. For the news first where the people come first, I'm Martin Satya Nason. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this evening.
Low pressure area over southwest Bay of Bengal may develop into a depression in the next 24 hours. A warning from the Met Department. Naval and fishing communities advised to be vigilant. Landslide disrupts vehicular movement along the Badulla-Colombo main road. A presidential election will be held next year. President says at the special convention of the UNP.
මොකද එන අවුරුද්දේ මම ව්‍යවස්ථාව අනුව ජනාධිපතිවරණය තියෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු ඡන්දය තියෙනවා ඒක ඉවර කළා පළාත් සභා ඡන්දය තියෙනවා.
Fuel price amendments to take place daily next year instead of monthly amendments, says Minister of Power and Energy. Electricity Users Association files a lawsuit against the electricity price hike.
ජම්පරේ අඳින්න සූදානම් අපි පුද්ගලිකව නඩු පවරනවා මේ සියලු පාඩුවට වන්දි ගෙවන්න ඕන ඔයගොල්ලෝ පුද්ගලිකව.
The government that does not charge taxes from alcohol companies are charging taxes from the electricity consumers, says the opposition leader. Police seeks assistance from the speaker to investigate State Minister Diana's complaint. We will never accept relocation, a statement from the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas.
On to those stories in detail. The Met Department issued a warning on strong winds and rough seas this afternoon. It indicated that low pressure area over southwest Bay of Bengal may develop into a depression in the next 24 hours. According to the advisory, it is likely to move northwestwards towards Bangladesh coast away from Sri Lanka.
According to the weather advisory issued by the Met Department, wind speeds will be 40 to 45 kilometers per hour and can increase up to 50 to 55 kilometers per hour in areas between north latitude 10 and 20 and between 84 and 90 east latitude. Naval and fishing communities are advised to be vigilant over the sea areas during the next 24-hour window. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in over central and eastern provinces and in the Ratnapura district. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
Vehicular movement along the Haputala-Beragala main road in Viharagala, which was disrupted owing to a landslide earlier today, was restored later. The road was inundated due to heavy showers this afternoon. The landslide took place following heavy rainfall experienced in the area. Vehicular movement along the Colombo-Badulla main road was disrupted due to this incident. According to our correspondent, the Haldumulla police, along with the area residents, worked to repair the road. Heavy showers were also reported in Bandaravela and Alla this afternoon. The water levels of the Baduloya and the Demodara Dam had also risen. Roads leading to many villages in Uduvara Haliyala were also flooded due to the heavy showers. 4 sluice gates of the Polgolla Mahavali Dam have been opened with the rain falling in the catchment areas of the Mahavali River since this morning. Mahavali Dam Engineering Office said that 6,000 cubic feet per second of water will be released into the lower Victoria Reservoir through the sluice gates opened by 18 inches each.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says a special presidential election will be held next year. He expressed these views at the special convention of the United National Party. The special convention of the United National Party commenced with the arrival of President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
අප මේ අරඹන්නේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ විශේෂ මහා සම්මේලනයයි.
The theme for the convention was Smart Courtesy, Jaigamu 2048. A group including prominent party members were present for the convention. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has extended his wishes to the convention.
The main powers of the working committee have been given to the executive committee. The leader will be appointed by the executive committee and not the working committee. The main policy decisions will be made by the executive committee. The working committee is tasked with implementing the decisions of the executive committee. The number has been reduced. There will be another committee to formulate political strategies. These are our main amendments. They will lead to a revolution. Through those, Sri Lanka's first digital party will be created. Are the members of this convention for these amendments? Do you acknowledge these amendments?
හරි හරි අත්‍රික කවුද විරුද්ධ? එහෙනම් ඒ යෝජනාව සම්මත කරා කියලා මම මේ සභාවට වාර්තා කරනවා. ආර්ථිකය හදන එක UMP වැඩන්නේ. ඔය අමාරු වැඩක් නෙමෙයි. මම කව දෙන්න කියලා එතුමා මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශේ බාර දුන්නාම බාර. එතන ඉඳන් තමයි වැඩ කටයුතු කරේ. මේක බාරගත්තා.
When I had the chance, I took over the finance ministry and started my work from there. After I accepted the job, those who rejected the position before me are now coming up and asking the position back. What happened on the 9th of July? All of them are coming to take over the parliament. They ran away after urging the prime minister to resign. Now they are asking for a chance to govern. They ran away from it every chance they got. I informed the army commander to stop them at any cost. He stopped it. The chance to govern came to me, and we worked with the cabinet and brought stability to the country. I took the responsibility. Many people said I can't do it, and that I did so to protect the Rajapakshas. Is it true?
මේක හදන්න බෑ. මෙයා මේක බාරගත්තේ රාජපක්ෂලා ආරක්ෂා කරන්න කියලා. ඇත්තනේ? මම එකක් කියන්නම්. මං ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ හැම ජනාධිපතිතුමා ගිහින් අගමැතිකම ඉල්ලුවෙත් නැහැ, ලියලා ඉල්ලුවෙත් නැහැ, කටින් ඉල්ලුවෙත් නැහැ. මට කිව්වැද්දි මම බාරගත්තා. ඉතින් මම ඒ කරපු මම රාජපක්ෂ ආරක්ෂා කරනවා නම් රාජපක්ෂට ලියලා අගමැතිකම ඉල්ලුවා මොනවද කරන්නේ? දන්නවද අපි බංග්ලාදේශයෙන් ඩොලර් මිලියන 200ක් ණයට ගත්තා. ආපහු ගෙව්වා. අපි ඉන්දියාවටත් කොටස් හැටියට ආපහු ගෙවන්නේ.
I will say one thing. I did not ask the premiership from President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in any form. I accepted it when it was given to me. If I am protecting the Rajapakshas, what if someone writes to the Rajapakshas asking for the premiership? We took a loan worth $200 million from Bangladesh. We repaid that. We are now repaying India in parts. You and peers are proud. We don't like being in debt. We will somehow earn and repay debt. We learned one thing from the crisis. The people are fed up of this system. No one here accepts when fingers are pointed. People have distanced themselves from political parties. We know that today 40 to 50% of people in the country are not accepting political parties. That is the reality. Other parties do not accept this. We have been rejected. How can we make this change? Some parties are saying to change the constitution. Others are saying the president should be changed. Some others are saying the governments must change. A change must take place from yourselves. Therefore, I decided to start making that change from me. I did not keep the power for myself. I gave it to the parliament. Some chairman from the opposition. There is Champika Ranawaka, Harsha De Silva. I did not exclude anyone. I want to say that it's an assistance to me. Now this week, 2 incidents took place in parliament. People are asking what happened in parliament. They are questioning the state of discipline in the parliament. Because of this, Karu Jayasuriya has prepared a draft as of now. According to the Parliamentary Standards Act in the UK, I will present it to the cabinet on Monday. An independent person will be appointed to monitor the behaviour of the MPs. We must control ourselves. We passed the Anti-Corruption Act. Doors that lead to corruption are being closed on all sides. Political parties are a point in politics that enable corruption. Influencers are made through money. In Ecuador, drug racketeers have taken over parties. We will stop that. We want to stop that because next year, as per the constitution, I will hold the presidential election. After that, I will hold the general election. After that, the local government elections will be held in earlier 2025. The United National Party will be prepared for that. I will tell how we will build a smart country during the budget speech. Let's take over that responsibility of building a smart country, a smart party and a smart nation.
ඒක ඉවර කළා බාගලට 2025 මුල් කාලේදී පළාත් සභා ඡන්ද තියෙනවා. ඉතින් එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයත් ඒවට ලෑස්ති වෙන්න. මට මම බැලුවේ ඒකයි. දැන් අපි කතා කරනවා අයවැයේදී ස්මාර්ට් රටක් ගේන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා මම කියන්න. ඒ ස්මාර්ට් රට කරන්න එකත් අපි බාර ගමු. ස්මාර්ට් පක්ෂයයි ස්මාර්ට් රටයි. මොකද දැන් මේ පක්ෂය මේ තරුණය බාර ගන්නවා.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Vijayasekara says a daily fuel price revision will be implemented next year instead of the monthly price revisions. He expressed his views at the annual general meeting of the All Ceylon Filling Station Owners Associations held today.
Owners of filling station and representatives of the fuel supplying companies took part in the annual general meeting of the All Ceylon Filling Station Owners Association.
Sinopec සමාගම රුපියල් 7ක වෙනසක් තියලා තිනවා පෙට්‍රල් වලට. එම නිසා
Sinopec has marketed their prices 7 rupees below our prices. This is a serious issue to us. This has caused the collapse of the filling stations at the CPC. They said competition is good for the country and introduced this. Now we are helpless because of Sinopec. Now the CPC has their hands tied behind their backs. Tell the CPC to be more competitive. The minister must pay attention to this.
අපි රජයේ ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් හැටියට දැනටම අරගෙන තියෙන තීන්දුවක් තමයි එක මාසයකට සැරයක් රජය විසින් කරන නිවේදනයකට වැඩිය ඒ තෙල් බෙදා හරින ආයතන විසින් Tamanට අලාභ නොවන ආකාරයට එක දෛනිකව සිදු කරන
The government has made a policy decision to change the prices of fuel based on the profitability of the fuel companies on a daily basis next year, instead of changing the price monthly like we usually do. When this happens, the losses incurred by the minor changes in prices, unlike the massive changes that are happening now, will be borne by our institutions. We will bear those losses and obtain the profits. You will be able to obtain fuel automatically. To implement this system, we must only spend 3 billion rupees. We are hoping to implement a modern system. We must be careful when regulating. There is an institute that regulates electricity usage, but the electricity price was not amended for 9 years because that institute did not fulfill its duties. Once electricity tariffs were amended, all of a sudden after 9 years the burden is more. Therefore, regulatory bodies need to act more responsibly. With the Israel-Palestine conflict, it is predicted that world oil prices will increase from 25 to 30%. Therefore, we are maintaining the future requirements in stock just to be prepared.
විදන ඊශ්‍රායල පලස්තීන පිළිබඳව ගැටුමක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙදි පුරෝකතනය කරනවා ඉන්ධන මිල 125කින් 30කින් ලෝක වෙළඳ පොලේ වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. අපි දැනටමත් තවත් ඉදිරි මාසයකට ඕන ප්‍රමාණය අපි දැන් අද තුග වශයෙන් අපි පවත්වාගෙන යනවා.
අත්‍යවශ්‍ය භාණ්ඩවල හිඟේ නැති කර IMF ගිවිසුමකට අපි එළඹුණා.
We entered into an agreement with the IMF and the country became stable. We have to implement numerous reforms. When implementing these reforms, the people were heavily burdened, but the problems have not been solved yet. We came to an agreement with the IMF during the review. That program includes many other reforms. We are hoping to implement those reforms externally. All of those are done to stabilize the economy through the IMF and to expedite the speed of economic growth.
හැම දෙයක්ම කරන්නේ IMF හරහා ආර්ථිකය ස්ථාවර කරන්නත් ඒ වගේම රජයක් වශයෙන් ආර්ථික වර්ධනය වේගවත් කරගන්නත්.
Electricity Users Association points out that yesterday's electricity price increase was illegal and that they will go to courts against the decision.
The Electricity Board predicts that there won't be rainfall. They name the capacity to generate electricity in reservoirs as 430 gigawatt hours. Today it has been proven that they have a capacity of more than 750 gigawatt hours and is increasing. They presented the price of electricity generated by coal as 97 rupees, but they can provide coal generated electricity for 52 rupees and 2 cents. But they are coming up with false arguments. They said the CEB is incurring losses. They profited in September. According to the recommendations, the CEB is to incur a profit of close to 20 billion rupees. This is the third time they are increasing the prices. This is illegal. This is done by the PUCSL, including its chairman. Get ready to wear prison clothes. We will file individual lawsuits. They will have to make personal payments to repay the losses incurred. We can run the country for 3 months from hydropowered electricity. Therefore, the cost is below 5 rupees. Why did the PUCSL approve this knowing these facts? This is serious. We are hoping to file lawsuits. There are more than 400,000 people in this country who do not use a single unit of electricity.
එකක්වත් පාවිච්චි නොකරන ජනතාව ඉන්නවා 4,50,000කට එහා පැත්තේ.
විදුලි බිල වැඩි කිරීම හේතුවෙන් ක්ෂේත්‍ර කිහිපයක් ලක්ව ඇති පීඩාවයි මේ.
The electricity bill went up for the third time yesterday. This cannot be tolerated anymore. From now on, if gas or diesel or anything else increases, we will definitely have to end this industry, and there is nothing we can do about it. Prices will have to be increased, but we are still holding it not because we can. We are requesting a solution for this from the government, as the only person who can give a solution to this is the government. We especially ask to change this unfair tax policy.
බදු ප්‍රතිපත්තිය වෙනස් කරන්න.
This business is at the verge of being collapsed, and the reason for this is this periodic increase in the electricity bill. When the electricity bill increases after we accept the orders, we have to sell the products at the previously purchased rate. So this periodic price increase affects the business greatly. We say that if we want to expand this market, exporters and businessmen should help us protect it. Ornamental fish are not like other breeds, and they die soon if they don't get enough oxygen. It takes more than 3 units to run an oxygen motor a day. In that case, we are unable to continue this business.
රනිල් රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා එක සවාරියක් ගිය ගමන් තෙල් මිල වැඩි වෙනවා. ඊළඟ සවාරිය ගිහිල්ලා ආව ගමන් ගෑස් මිල වැඩි වෙනවා.
The oil prices are increased as soon as Ranil Rajapaksa goes on one trip. The gas prices increase after the next trip. The electricity bill will increase again when he goes on another trip. During every incident, what happens is that when the oil price increases, the cost of good increases. When the gas price increases, the cost of goods increases. When the electricity bill increases, the cost of goods increases. What happens with this increase in the electricity bill is that 18% will be added to the prices of all goods and services. Thereafter, the government's electricity bill will increase by 18% directly, and we as the general public will have to pay this increase indirectly by 30 to 40%. And when this cost of goods is increased, the general public won't be able to bear it.
සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාවට මොකද බඩු මිල වැඩි වෙනවා.
Yesterday, when the people were suffering from unbearable electricity tariffs, the electricity bill was once again increased. We saw how ministers who fought for a bottle of alcohol were bearing the situation very calmly and quietly. We saw how the Minister of Power and Energy, his staff, and especially the other rulers of the country are finding solutions to this crisis this country has faced. They have only 2 solutions. One is to sell the country, and the other is to exploit the general public. These are the only options they know.
The opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that the government, which does not properly collect taxes due from alcohol producers, continue to burden the electricity consumers.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ කමිටු වලින් බොහොම පැහැදිලිව අවබෝධ වෙලා තිබෙනවා මත්පැන් ව්‍යාපාර
It has been very clearly understood by the committees of the parliament that liquor businesses do not even pay the amount of taxes they are supposed to pay. Recently, it was revealed that 2 organizations have not paid the amount of 1,700 million rupees due to taxes. Alcohol companies and cigarette companies do not pay taxes the country should receive. But the electricity board is losing so much. The country has lost so much. I see it as a very despicable act to illegally raise the electricity tariffs for the 3rd time on the shoulders of the people, claiming believing that the institutions are losing billions of dollars. When the next electricity bill comes to the house, the people of our country will continue to suffer, whereas alcohol companies will have no problem. Why aren't they urged to pay taxes?
ඊළඟ විදුලි බිලය ගෙදරට එනකොට හූල්ල ඉන්න අපේ රටේ ජනතාව ඒ මහා පීඩනයට අසහනයට ලක් වෙනකොට අරක්කු කොම්පැනි කාර්යයා සතුටින් යනවා ගෙදර ඇයි කිසිම බලකිරීමක් නැහැ තමන් ගෙවිය යුතු බදු ටික ගෙවන්න.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa made these comments while addressing the 111th General Assembly of the Sri Lanka Temperance Movement held at the Borella Colombo Young Men's Buddhist Association's auditorium today. The opposition leader also obtained the membership of the Temperance Movement. Leader of the Jatika Jana Balawege, Anurukumara Disanayake, says the current government does not have any plans other than obtaining loans and selling national assets. He made these remarks during a Jatika Jana Balawege meeting in Gampula.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ බලයට අවිල්ලා මාස 15කට ආසන්න කාලයක් ගත වෙමින් තිබෙනවා. මෙතන ඉන්න කාට හරි නැගිටලා කියන්න පුළුවන්ද?
It has been nearly 5 months since Ranil Wickremesinghe has come into power. Can someone here say that any economic means except borrowing loans and selling assets were introduced? None at all. Either they try to borrow something or they try to sell something. They sold off the industries that we had. They sold thousands of acres of cultivatable land to 21 companies. Half of Sri Lanka Telecom was also sold. Banks were sold off. Now what is Ranil Wickremesinghe trying to do? He is attempting to see what else can be sold. This has now turned into a way to find the fastest way to sell in the next 7 months. They had planned to sell off the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation. Sri Lanka Telecom has to do with our national security. It is intertwined with the economic future and technology of this country as well. Plans have been made to sell an important company. The profit of it is 1.3 billion. But what do they tell the people? That these institutions incur losses. Sri Lanka Telecom has gained profits. Next is Litrogas. They are trying to sell that off as well. It is a very effective organization. Milko company is included in this as well. All these companies are being sold. NLDB is sold to the Amul in India. The agreement has already been signed. There are important verdicts in the year 2000. Phosphate organization, they are trying to sell it off. Pulmude mineral sands are to be sold off as well. They are trying to sell all these resources. Is this a new economic journey of Ranil Wickremesinghe? This is the destruction of this country and the people.
විනාශයට පත් කරපු ආර්ථික කතාව ඒක තමයි රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ වේගවත් කරලා තියෙන්නේ.
News first with the people.
At a time when the country is facing an economic crisis, is it not the responsibility of parliamentarians to discuss burning issues at present? Is that what is happening at present? An incident that raises this question was reported yesterday. The police have sought instructions of the Speaker to commence an investigation regarding State Minister Diana Gamage's complaint on being attacked. State Minister Diana Gamage had lodged a complaint to the Valikada police alleging that MP Sujit Sanjay Pereira and Rohana Bandara had attacked her.
Following yesterday's incident at Parliament, State Minister Diana Gamage was admitted to the Sri Jayawardhanapura Hospital for treatment.
We went to the Parliament yesterday and I was talking to Minister Piyal Nishanta. While talking, I said that SJB's MPs do not know how to respect a woman. I said that I do not understand what has happened to the MPs of SJB. Just then, Rohana Bandara passed by and heard this and got into an argument with me. So we started an argument there. Then this MP named Sujit Sanjay Pereira came by and chased me away. Then I told him this isn't his problem and asked him to step aside. Thereafter, he came towards me and pulled away my handbag and later pushed me away. I once again told him not to touch me and that I have no problem with him. He pushed me once again, and for the second time, I asked him not to touch me again. He then asked me whether I will hit him if he tried again. Following that, even though I didn't want to hit him, but when I said that he must be slapped for touching a woman, he jumped at me, strangled my neck and attacked me. The complete CCTV footage of the incident is in the Parliament premises.
CCTV footage එක තියෙනවා පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල.
The hospital spokesperson said she was discharged from the hospital after receiving treatment.
I was on my way to the elevator. As soon as she saw me, she started scolding me in filth with Piyal Nishantha. I avoided her and kept walking towards the elevator. As I was waiting for the elevator after pressing the button, she continued to scold me. She walked towards me and continued to do so. Then I started to record from my phone and ask what she wants. She said that she was going to remove my trousers. Similarly, if I had said I would remove her sari, what would happen? She kept threatening me. I urged the speaker to conduct a fair inquiry into this and do justice.
මේක පිළිබඳ සාධාරණ පරීක්ෂණයක් කරලා කතානායකතුමා ඇතුළු කණ්ඩායම සාධාරණ ඉෂ්ට කරන්න කියන කාරණේ ඉල්ලනවා.
ඔබතුමා ඇත්තම ඔබතුමාලා පහර දීමක් කළේ නැද්ද එතුමියට?
මොනම අවස්ථාවක
I did not attack her. She tried to attack me first using her hand. MP Sujit attempted to prevent that. After that, she started swinging her handbag.
කටයුතු කරන එතනින් පස්සුව එතුමිය handbag එක අරගෙන හතර අතේ වනනවා.
However, the committee appointed to probe the incident said the investigation will commence from Monday. Deputy Speaker Ajit Rajapaksha is the chairman of the committee. Deputy Speaker Ajit Rajapaksha said following the investigations, a report will be presented to the Speaker on the 7th of November.
According to the Tourism Development Authority, 50,395 foreign tourists visited Sri Lanka in the first 2 weeks of October 2023.
It is a 19.9% increase compared to October last year. The total number of tourists who have come to this country so far this year has exceeded 1.066 million.
Popular businessman Deshamanya Dr. Lalit Kothalawala has passed away while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo. He was aged 85 at the time of his demise.
Deshamanya Dr. Lalit Kothalawala made a valuable contribution to the Sri Lankan economy by becoming the owner of a renowned business network in Sri Lanka. Funeral arrangements of Dr. Lalit Kothalawala are to be announced later.
The United States on Saturday welcomed the arrival of 8 trucks from Egypt in the war-torn Gaza Strip and urged all parties to keep the Rafah crossing open.
Israel has suggested that the long-term aim of its military campaign in Gaza is to sever all links with the territory. Israeli defense minister said that once Hamas had been defeated, Israel would end its responsibility for life in the Gaza Strip. Before the conflict, Israel supplied Gaza with most of its energy needs and monitored imports into the country. The bombardments are a response to attacks by Hamas gunmen on Israel on October 7th, in which at least 1,400 people were killed and 203 taken hostage. Israel is now poised to launch a ground offensive. Meanwhile, the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and Gaza has opened to let a small amount of desperately needed aid flow to Palestinians running short of food, medicine and water in the territory that is under an Israeli siege. Pro-Palestinian protests continued around the world on Saturday, with rallies in New Zealand and Australia in support of the besieged population of Gaza, where the death toll has reached 4,137 since Israel began bombing the enclave on October 7th. According to UN reports, approximately 70% of people killed in Gaza to date have been children and women. Egypt is hosting an international conference on Saturday to discuss the escalating war between Israel and the Palestinian group Hamas in Gaza. According to the Reuters news agency, leaders from the Middle East, Europe, South Africa, Japan and the United Kingdom are likely to be in attendance.
A number of leaders from the Middle East and Europe have gathered in Egypt for summit to discuss de-escalation of the Israel-Gaza war.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas used his opening remarks to say that Palestinians will not be forced off their land. He said, quote, "We will never accept relocation. We will remain on our land whatever the challenges." Abbas is head of the Palestinian Authority, which has control over areas of the occupied West Bank, but not the Hamas-run Gaza Strip. Egypt and other Arab states have previously said a massive influx of Palestinian refugees fleeing the war would be unacceptable because it would amount to the expulsion of Palestinians from their land. The meeting, which is called a Summit for Peace, also includes officials from Jordan, Qatar, Italy, Spain, the EU and the UK. However, key notable absentees included Israel, the US and Iran.
Day 39 of the second leg of the LOLC Divi Savya program got underway, centering schools in the Badulla district.
The second leg of the LOLC Divi Savya program will provide school books and stationery items to schools with less than 100 students. Students from schools including the Mahiyangana Diriyagama Primary School, Ritigaha Arava Vidyalaya, Dakyaya Junior School, Teldeniya Junior School, Kovilyaya Junior School, Talavegama Junior School, Senanigama Primary School were gifted school books and stationery items. School books and stationery items were also gifted to students at the Mahiyangana Zonal Education Office. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC Group and the Ministry of Education.
A captivating children's book that focuses on embracing differences and promoting inclusivity from an early age, titled Saying Hello, was launched earlier today in Colombo.
Authored by debutant Mokshini Jaimanna, the story follows a child with a speech and hearing impairment who has the basic human need to be accepted and loved by her peers. Through its narrative, Saying Hello highlights the power of kindness, understanding and non-verbal communication in bridging divides and forging deep connections. Mokshini Jaimanna is a lawyer and an experienced teacher of speech and drama, engaged in both vocations for over 20 years. The principal and students of the Ceylon School for the Deaf and Blind participated in the event.
No. Flowers!
The highly anticipated 52nd Royal Thomian Rowing Regatta 2023 for the T. Noel Fernando Memorial Trophy took place at the Colombo Rowing Club earlier today. News First Malsha Nanaikara reports.
The Royal Thomian Rowing Regatta, known for its rich history and fierce rivalry, brings together the rowing teams of St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia and Royal College, Colombo.
St. Thomas's College won the 52nd Annual Royal Thomian Rowing Regatta against Royal College 30 for 22, taking the Noel Fernando Trophy and also won the Boat Race Trophy. This year, Royal College was captained by Sarit Abesiri Gunawardena, while the team of St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia, was captained by Siobhan Pereira.
And, I've done rowing for 7 years and it's been a long journey. Today has been crazy. We won. I'm thankful for my coaches.
As a captain, I'm really happy about my team. I would like to thank my coach, Kushal Abhiratna, for being the best coach ever, actually. And also my school, academic staff and everyone.
The sub-warden of St. Thomas's College, Asanka Pereira, and assistant principal and senior games master of Royal College also expressed their views about the event.
St. Thomas's and Royal College have a long history of camaraderie, of having a lot of competitions against each other, starting from cricket, water polo, football, basketball, you name it, we have competitions, and this is one of the last ones for the year. Rowing, which has been there for 52 years.
We do have 10 encounters between Royal College and St. Thomas's College. This has been going for a long time, and we do appreciate the commitment taken by both schools with the principal sir and the warden sir, and this in fact building comradeship and friendship between the schools.
The Royal Thomian Rowing Series began with a boat race in 1962 at the Barrow Lake before it was transformed into a regatta in 1966 with the addition of several more events. This year, 3 records were broken in the A pair, B pair and A double sculls events. The A double sculls event record was broken after 14 years by Royal College at 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Before the last event, the boat race, the score stood at 22 for 18 in favour of Royal College. St. Thomas's College then won the boat race and thus won the entire regatta. The boat race is regarded as the most prestigious race of the regatta and is rowed for the Royal Thomian Boat Race Trophy. This race carries 12 points and determined the winner of the regatta this year. St. Thomas's College also won the B sculls, A pair, under 16 foes, Old Boys foes and the B4 events. Meanwhile, Royal College won the A sculls, B pair, A double sculls, B double sculls and the C4 events.
The
official ICC Men's Cricket World Cup India 2023.
Sri Lanka defeated Netherlands by 5 wickets at the ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 match today. Cricket fans can watch and listen to all action of the World Cup via the MTV-MBC networks, the official local broadcast rights holder of the tournament. The matches are being streamed live on www.sirasatv.lk as well. Batting first after winning the toss, Dutch lost their first 3 wickets for just 54 runs on the board. Bastrelide scored 6 while skipper Scott Edwards scored 16 runs. For the 7th wicket, Logan Boyanbeek and Engelberg put on 130 runs for the 7th wicket. This is the highest 7th wicket partnership by any side in the World Cup history. Engelberg scored 70 runs. Logan Boyanbeek scored 59 runs. For Sri Lanka, Kasan Rajitha and Dilshan Madhushankar took 4 wickets apiece. Accordingly, the Dutch scored 262 runs in 49.4 overs. Chasing a target of 263 runs, Sri Lanka lost the first 2 wickets for just 52 runs. Pathum Nisanka scored 52 runs. After the loss of his wicket, Charith Asalanka and Sadira Samaravikrama put on 77 runs for the 4th wicket. Asalanka scored 44 runs. Sadira Samaravikrama scored 91 unbeaten runs to take Sri Lanka home.
And done and dusted this ball it is. With a pretty good hit down the ground. Almost an old-fashioned thump.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Prime Time News on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. Take care and good night.